How are you guys doing this morning? Almost messed up and said afternoon. You guys good? Yeah. Okay, I don't hear a lot of enthusiasm behind it, so I'm going to say it again. How you guys doing this morning? Yeah. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Before I ask you guys anything, I got to ask you this. When you see this picture, who do you think I am? Take a guess. Hold on. Raise your hand. Don't speak out. Who do you think I am? Who do you think I do for a living? Any guesses? Okay. Okay. What were you going to say?
Judge.
Judge?
You look like a lawyer.
Look like a... Second time I heard that. Kind of look... Yeah, okay. Maybe I look like I should be in court. What's your guess? Sort of.
And Family Feud.
You and your Steve Harvey reference. Okay.
I think you're Mr. Director.
Close.
What?
What are you going to say? Lawyer? Close. Not even close, sorry.
Director?
Nope, close, but in that field.
A businessman?
Yes, I am a business owner. Any other guesses? Okay, so before I get started, my name is Marklin Mr. Direct Johnson. I have a bachelor's degree in marketing and associates in telecommunication networking, and I have worked 20 years in corporate America. These are the companies that I have worked for. Did this kid just say, give me a free TV at Best Buy? Okay, so here's the deal. I have worked at all these companies in 20 years of working in corporate America. These are all companies that I've worked for. I was a merchandiser, customer service, IT support. These are all the positions I held in my life. None of these jobs ever made me happy. When I was there, is this it? Am I just going to sit in this cubicle? Can I do more? Can I be happy? I was never happy. In 2000.
Good morning, pardon the interruption. Career day presenters, please prepare to transition to your next class. Thank you.
In 2011, when I turned 35 years old, I started podcasting online. When I was younger, there was no such thing as podcasts. How many of you guys have heard podcasts before? There was no such thing as podcasts when I was your age. It was be on the radio. And if you weren't on the radio, nobody cared what you had to say. You could do like small little area radio, but unless you really understood the technology, you weren't going to do it. The internet boomed because you guys grew up with the internet. I didn't. Internet boomed. You could do a podcast, which is an online radio show for yourself. I started doing that. I evolved into doing event hosting and comedy clubs. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a comic. That is what I do. I am a professional comedian.
Pardon the interruption. Career day speakers, your next class presentation will start at 11:05. At 11:05. Thank you.
I'm a little early. It's okay. However, I am a stand-up comedian. That stand-up comedian evolved into me becoming an author. I wrote 2 books. I have published 2 books. Facebook Conversations, The Good, the Funny, the Ugly, and another one as a self-memoir. I had a podcast. I had several of them. This one was called Wacky Wednesdays. From there, I evolved into event hosting. I've hosted events with 5,000, 10,000, 30,000 people. I produce my own show. So who said director? One of you guys said director. When you're a producer, sometimes you're a director. You're directing the show. You're deciding how the show is going to go. That evolved into, this is what I am evolving into, and this is where, I wouldn't say it's the end line, but this is what I excel at. An engaging, humorous, motivational speaker. When I was your age, I wanted to be a stockbroker. There was a show on TV called Family Ties. I wanted to be a stockbroker. Michael P. Keaton, I love that character so much. I went to school carrying a briefcase and I wore a suit and tie. I thought I was going to be a stockbroker. I'm not good at math. 1 + 1 is 2. That's where it stops with me. All that algebra and everything else, I'm not with it. So I had to learn quickly what I wanted to do. When computers came around, I became very good at working with computers. Very good, very quickly. I consumed it. I went and bought magazines that taught me how to take computers apart. I built computers from scratch. But I didn't know that my life would be Now I'm going to show it to you again so you guys get a feel. I didn't know that when I got into computers in the corporate world, this is what I would be doing, cubicle work. I'm sitting in a cubicle taking customers' complaints. One of the complaints I used to hear all the time, my computer's not working, it's stuck at the same phase. Why don't you unplug it? Repower it if the button doesn't work. I tried that and it keeps giving me the same screen. Ma'am, you're cutting off the monitor, not the computer. Imagine hearing that 80 times a day in your head. 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. It got nerve-wracking. That's why I said, can I do more? Can I be happy? When I started doing this, how many of you guys have heard of the Medea movies?
Oh, I already said that right now.
You know the Medea movies, right?
Yeah.
Medea has a stunt double. The stunt double for Tyler Perry is his name is Shed G. He's a comedian. Shed G saw me doing my online podcasting. I was in Minnesota. He said, I think you have something with your speaking. You're good at it. When I was your age, I used to speak out kind of like you, and everyone told me to be quiet, stop speaking out. That was my talent though. My talent was speaking out. It was that I didn't know when to speak out. But that was my talent. And not everybody's going to see your talent. If you look at most of the people that are gifted, very few people can say, I knew that guy was going to be a star when I saw him. Some people don't evolve. I didn't discover this until I was 35 years old. I'm 50. I hate to say that age, but I'm 50. Yes, I am. I know I don't look it, but hey. But I'm 50 years old. I discovered my talent when I was 35 years old. That evolved into me becoming a stand-up comic. I have blessed the stage with some famous, not so famous, with just funny people. Some of the funniest people you see are not the people on TV. It's the guys that are actually going to comedy clubs every night and engaging audiences and making people laugh with everyday things, not the stuff like Steve Harvey's funny, but Steve Harvey is funny because you see him on TV. He's not the funniest if you go and see other people. My point, follow your dreams. Do not be stuck on thinking you are limited to whatever you think. So you said before, I heard you over there, you said you want to be a wide receiver.
Yes.
Don't think, right now, think wide receiver. Be dedicated to being a football player. But remember, if that goes down the tubes, you can evolve into something else. You could be a football coach. You could be a sports commentator. See, the career day, they want you guys to think, I should come here and tell you everything about me and what my career is. No, when everybody's walking through this door, you need to remember this. They're showing you that the options for you are wide open. You can go from there to saying, I'm going to be a police officer. You can go from there to say, you know what I love about football? Taking pictures. I now want to take pictures of the football game. That's what career day is. It's to show you whatever you choose, you're not stuck in it. What did you want to be? A lawyer. You could end up being like some of the hosts on TV shows are lawyers. When you watch the news networks and stuff like that, some of those guys are lawyers. What happened was somebody liked them because they did great in a case. Then all of a sudden the person said, you got that look. For instance, here's your teacher in the back. I'm sorry, you're Mrs. Garcia. So somebody can one day walk up to Mrs. Garcia and say, I love the way you are with your kids in your class. I want to put you on a TV show that's geared towards kids. How would you like to do that? So now all of a sudden, 5 years down the line, you see her on TV. You're like, oh my God, that's Mrs. Garcia. Mrs. Garcia is just doing what she loves, still teaching kids. It's just now at an elevated platform. Same thing with being a lawyer. So don't think you're limited by saying that this is what you're going to be. It is an amazing thing. I personally want to be a motivational speaker. Why? Because I was a lost child. I didn't figure out what I wanted until I was 35 years old. And now I want to put that into you guys.
Good morning. Pardon the interruption. Due to career day, our lunch periods will be pushed back. First lunch period will start at 11:55, and second lunch period will start at 12:40. Thank you all for your understanding and your flexibility. I hope you are enjoying our career day. Thank you.
So what happened, someone hired me to go speak to a school, and I spoke to kids that were 13, 14 years old. And my question to them was, who are you? Because when you were 13, 14, 15 years old, you need to identify who you are. It doesn't mean that's who you are today. It means you know where you're starting Because if you don't know where you're starting, you don't know where you're going to go. I love that you're nodding your head because you get it. Here's the thing. Where you start isn't where you're going to finish. That is the important part. So here's the deal. When I went in there and I started speaking to the kids, one of the young ladies ended up starting makeup on YouTube. She progressed into getting 15,000 followers in 3 months because I simply put that in her mind and she started to believe in what she was doing. I'm here for Career Day to tell you what I do, but more importantly, what I want you to walk away is look at me and look at my life and say, I can do that. Not that you can do what I do, but I can follow my dream. And if I want to be a football player, I'm going to be a football player. But if I fall off, I can be something else. I can be a sports commentator. I can be a coach. I can be a GM. I can strive to be an owner of an NFL team. Everything. There's an expression, who's heard it? The sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, the limit's the sky. Doesn't make a difference where you're at today. It matters on what you want to be tomorrow. You want to be a fireman, right? Check this out. You decide you no longer want to put your life in danger in climbing up walls and ladders and all this kind of stuff. You can end up being a fire inspector. Not a small fire inspector. You could get hired by the government because you become so good at the inspection part that now they're hiring you to go to facilities and look for fire hazards. You can be bigger than just a fireman. You wanted to, what did you want to be? A judge. Again, you see the judge shows on TV? Imagine being on TV and just making decisions on people's lives. And Judge Judy, you can, what's your name? Abdul? You can be Judge Abdul. Nothing wrong with that. 7 years of school, you can still do it. Young lady, what did you want to be for that?
Business owner.
Business owner. You know what I love about that? Some of the most successful people in the world do not own one business. They own several. Because it's called rinse and repeat. Once I figured out how to make a certain amount of money a certain way, I rinse it, I repeat it. It's just changing the business platform of what I'm going to do. So if you look at Elon Musk, who's a billionaire, he's the richest man in the world. Elon Musk started off doing cartridges for storing on computers. He then took his money and evolved it to starting PayPal. How many of you guys have heard PayPal? He then evolved from PayPal and said, I'm going to start selling cars. So then he took that formula. So now he's so successful and had the money, he took the formula from just that and decided that now it's time for me to be an owner of different businesses. And here's the thing. These are the big businesses he owns. You don't know how much real estate he owns. You don't know if he owns a, like a travel business, airlines. You don't know. So I love the fact that you said business owner, because business owner opens you up the scope to be a lot of things. Hold on to that dream. Yes, sir.
Elon Musk owns Twitter too.
He owns Twitter as well. I'm shocked that you know that. But that is a good comment that he owns Twitter. I love, because understand this, when I was your age, you weren't aware of things like that. So it's amazing that you are so in touch and aware and know these things. And it's amazing that you were, oh, he owns Twitter. If you had asked me when I was your age who Elon Musk was, I mean, again, I watched TV. That's not Mr. T. I didn't care. So, you were ahead of the game. You guys have the internet at your fingertips. Anything you guys want to do. You said you wanted to be a lawyer? You can look up how to be a lawyer right now, and you can look up things to read about. You can look up case law, and it'll be hard for you to understand it. But if somebody in your family is a lawyer, you could just discuss it with them. Hey, tell me about this. At a basic level, I want to understand it. You are at an advantage right now. Are there any questions for me? I love questions. Don't avoid questions. What are you going to ask?
Why do you do comedy?
I love comedy because I love making people laugh. This world is a little bit too serious, and everyone takes themselves too serious. And I don't care who you are, what you look like, what background you are. You have to learn to laugh at yourself as well as laugh at other people, because nothing is as beautiful as sitting in a room with a diverse amount of people and we're all laughing at the same jokes. All of them. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to give you an example. Where's it at? Is this it? Nope. This has got to be it. Nope.
Okay.
Hold on. See all these jobs? I've been fired from every job except for Target.
What have you been doing? What did you do?
Every job I've been fired from.
Why did you do?
I thought I did what was called quiet quitting. It was a loud fire. Get out. Now, you're asking why am I laughing about it? There's two things. One, it's not that I'm deeply religious, so it's not against you guys. However, God sometimes will put a message in front of you when you least expect it and when you don't know it. I kept getting fired because none of these jobs made me happy. But I didn't want to understand it. So when I got fired, I did the rinse and repeat. Put out a resume, go get another job. What was the point of getting another job when I was the same person? I had the same energy. I had the same desire. You know what it was? Just work. Be quiet because misery. How many people heard misery loves company? You've heard that expression, misery loves company? Do you know what it means? It means when a person is miserable, they want you to be miserable too. So if a person doesn't like their job, but they're making good money, and they're living a good lifestyle, you know what they're going to tell you because you're dreaming big and you're not as successful as them? Be like me. Get a job, kill your dream, and just do what we did. But that wasn't my dream. And God knew that wasn't my dream. That's what I'll tell you right now. I could go out and get a job in corporate America. I'm good for 3 or 4 years. But you want to know something? I'll get fired again because it's not where my passion is. And some people can put their passion to the side for a long time. But you got to think about it like this. You want to be a football player. When you eat, sleep, and desire being a football player every day, your brain is going to tell you, what do I got to do to be the best football player ever? Who knows Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant wanted to be the next Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan shot up 3,000 shots a day to teach himself how to shoot a basketball. Kobe Bryant said, well, if Michael's shooting 3,000, I'm going to shoot 6,000. Kobe Bryant said, if Michael Jordan is in the gym at 4 in the morning, I'm going to go to the gym at 11 o'clock at night. He had a formula. Kobe Bryant had a formula. Be in bed, unless he had a game, be in bed by 9:30 or 10, wake up 2 or 3 in the morning. Before practice, go to the gym and work out. Before practice starts at 8 o'clock. Go to the gym before practice and have 4 hours of workout. So by the time everyone else is coming to the gym, he's in a full sweat. He's ready. He's warmed up because he's practicing like it's a real game. You practice how you play. So I go on stage and do open mics. Why? Because I practice how I want to be. I want to be a motivational humorous speaker. So I constantly go on stage to do comedy. But my end goal is to do what I'm doing right now. I'm not working. Who's heard the expression, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life? I don't work. I love this. I make money doing it too. Not today. Career Day is free. But I love doing this. And there's nothing you can do in this world than find what makes you happy. You said you wanted to be a business owner, right? Business owners love the challenge of starting businesses. That's where their brain is geared, and they love it. It's the challenge. It's not always about starting new businesses. It's the challenge of it. And if you can challenge yourself to start your business and perfect this business, 3 years, I've got this business up and running, and I've got all the people running it for me that I'm going to be making money for the next 5 years. Now I can go over here and do this business. Same thing, rinse and repeat. Get everybody underneath me that can run it so I don't have to be there every day. Oh, so now I got 2 businesses. Let me go over here and start another one. Now you've got 3 or 4 businesses all functioning, and guess who everyone's looking at as the owner? You. And you're probably not even touching it anymore because you've got the people underneath you. So somebody said that I was some sort of a leader. Yes. When I'm running comedy shows, I'm the leader. I'm the guy that they're looking for because I host. Steve Harvey. So I'm the host. I lead off. When you see me, have you ever gone to a comedy show?
I went to one 2 weeks ago
Where at?
in New Brunswick.
Okay, so, oh my God, Stress Factory.
Yes.
I haven't performed there yet, but I've done more so in New York.
Yeah.
So the host sets the tempo for the day. the host sets the tempo for the night. And if I'm not on my A game, if I don't say, hey, Mrs. Garcia, how are you doing tonight?
How are you?
What do you do for a living?
Teacher.
You're a teacher? What do you teach?
Are great.
My condolences to you.
I appreciate you.
That gets the audience ready and says, I get this guy. I see where he's coming from. What's your name, ma'am?
Miss Peterson.
Miss Peterson. It is so, thank you so much for being here tonight. Are you married?
No.
See, Mrs. Peterson is so miserable in her job, she didn't even go get married. That's what I do, and I'm good at it because for some reason, I know how to relate to everyone. What do you do, sir?
I play soccer
You play soccer. Why do you play soccer?
because I really like it.
You like it? What do you love about soccer?
How much skill and dedication you need to get into it.
So when you say your skill and your dedication and you know what you got to get into it, sir, you have stumped me and I am unable to do my job as a comic host tonight because you have given too good of answers. I'm no longer answering a question. Leave me alone. I just did a sample for you guys to show you what I do when I'm a host. I set the tempo. And every now and then I get some tempo. Every now and then I get somebody like you and they stump me because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna give you straight up answers. My name is Mark. That's right. I drive trucks. That's right. Like, okay, Mark just drives trucks. You don't want to work with me here. That's it.
I got trucks.
Not me, I'm just saying in general. I'm giving you an example. But that's what you do. That's what I do. I set the tempo. Tempo. I don't know why tempo and tempo are messing me
It's
up
like,
today.
it's one of those, you know, it's like
Shirley
tomorrow.
Shirley Temple. But that's what I do, and that's what I enjoy doing. And that's why I got into doing comedy. And again, comedy, I didn't realize it, but comedy led me down the pathway of public speaking because I'm good at it. This is the gift that God gave me. I don't know where I got it. My dad was a teacher. But I didn't want to go into teaching because I knew I didn't have the patience. And that's why you got to thank people like Mrs. Garcia because she has the patience to teach. It's hard to teach kids. And I'm not saying that you guys are bad. Teaching is a hard, stressful job. It really is. My dad was an amazing teacher. When he got sick, some of his former students came to visit him. So it's a very rewarding job. But my point is, my dad was like, you couldn't handle teaching. Don't even try it, because I didn't have the patience. But oddly, I could get on stage, and even if I don't get any laughter, I just keep going. I found what I was good at, and that's why I'm encouraging guys. Find what you're good at. It's me. You're going to get a photographer. You're going to get another entertainer. You're going to get some paramedics. You're going to get doctors. You're going to get police officers. Listen to what they're saying and buy into it and discover what you are. Because whatever you love to do, you're going to become that. And that's what matters most. And you always, look at her being a teacher over there, hit popular with the ruler. Pay attention.
That's really her motive today.
She's on teacher mode over there. Took the ruler. Gotcha. Before I go, any questions?
Do we have any questions? Because that was awesome.
What's going on?
You went to Minnesota?
I moved out to Minnesota when I was 32 years old.
Oh, I wish I could go. I went to Minnesota.
Minnesota Vikings are my third favorite team. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why did you go to Minnesota?
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. If you stay where you're at, you'll never grow. You need to challenge yourself to do something bigger and better. Minnesota was so different than New Jersey, but I needed that. Granted, I'm here, but I needed that. If I didn't move to Minnesota, I probably would have never became what I am today. I needed that. I needed to uproot and move, change. Great question. Yes, sir.
Get fired.
Excuse me?
Get fired.
I told you. I didn't like the job, and it showed me, whatever you don't like to do, it shows in your attitude. What subject don't you like? Name a subject you don't like to do. Excuse me? It doesn't make a difference. You're not going to get in trouble for Mrs. Garcia, but what class is it? Like, what subject you don't like?
Do you not like reading? Do you not like writing? What is it that you don't like? See?
Writing.
I knew it.
So writing is probably your worst subject when you get graded and stuff like that. What you don't like to do will eventually show in your attitude and it'll show in the results of whatever you're working on. If you put me in a cubicle right now, I'm good for 6 months. I'm accelerating. I'm better than everybody there. And at 6 months, is this it? Is this all I'm going to do is be in a cubicle and answer questions to people that don't know how to work a computer? That's all I'm gonna do. And then all of a sudden at the year mark, yeah, we like you, but we need to see some improvement out of you. Bro, tell me I'm working towards something. Assistant supervisor, manager, something.
Staff, pardon the interruption. The girls' bathroom on the first floor is closed for sanitation. The girls' bathroom on the first floor is closed for sanitation. Please do not send any girls to the bathroom on the first floor. They may use the bathroom on the second floor. Thank you.
So always remember that. Whatever you don't like to do, it will show eventually in your attitude towards it. As a prime example, first of all, you should all like each other. You're in 3rd grade. You should all like each other. However,
speak on that a little bit louder, because my class.
yeah, however, I'm going to say this. Even if you think you're being mean to someone and it doesn't feel like you're being mean to them, people pick up on that energy. People know I'm not wanted, I'm not feeling the love.
Pardon the interruption. Career day presenters, can you please prepare to transition to your next class? Your next presentation will start at 11:30.
I'm going to wrap this up with a question.
What do you love most about it?
What I love about it is I get to meet people from different walks of life every day. Tonight I got a show in New York City. I'm doing a building. I'm doing an apartment building. So I don't know who's going to be in there. Like right now, I see this diverse amount of people. I can walk in there. It could be all black people. It could be all white people. It could be Indian people. It could be people that I could never imagine myself around. That's what I love about this, because it's the variety. I can make, like right now, I made them laugh. I could do the same routine tomorrow, and they could be like, I don't even want to laugh at you. Leave me alone. That's what I love. It's the spontaneity. It's this right here. As I'm talking to you, if you don't hear it, I'm getting more charged because I love this. This is what I was built to do. This is what I was built to give you guys. In 2 years from now, well, let's say 5 years from now. In 5 years from now, you guys are going to be, how old are you? 8. 5 years, 8 and 5 is 13. 13 years old, you run into me at 7-Eleven, you say, Mr. Johnson, I remember you in 3rd grade, you spoke to me, I decided I didn't want to be a football player. Instead, I buckled down and I want to be a scientist. And look at all these crazy grades I'm getting being a scientist. I've accomplished something because I made you understand to follow your dream and be passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, it's not worth it. And right now you're in 3rd grade, so your passion's going to dwindle. And tomorrow you might want to play video games. And then the next day you want to read a comic book. And the next day after that, I want to play soccer. The point is, whatever you do, put your passion into it. Once you are passionate about it, you'll never fail. I got to tie up. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all.